Hey, I'd like to take about 5 minutes and give you a rundown of what I think is one of the coolest bolt actions around. If you have interest in Mossberg MVP rifles, their scout or their patrol rifles, I hope to give you some valuable information around this rifle. I've owned this guy here for about 9 years. In that time, I've had some work done to it by a gunsmith. On the stock, I had it bedded, glass bedded. Then myself, I painted it. It's a wood stock. I painted it and then I sealed it with polyurethane. I sealed the channels, took the butt pad off, sealed everything, okay? It's very waterproof, very weatherproof. It's almost like a polymer stock now with the benefits of wood, with the recoil absorbing benefits of wood, I guess you could say. The barrel is a 16.25 inch medium weight, 1 in 10 twist. Now, the accuracy on this gun is, I want to say thumbs up. As long as you are using 175 and up or some 168 and up bullets. The reason is this has a 1 in 10 twist. If you don't know what that means, it means for every 10 inches in this barrel, the bullet will turn once. So in a 16.25, it'll spin, one time and a little more than a half, right? So I guess that's considered a fairly aggressive twist for a lot of 308 bullets. This does not handle 147 to 150 grain, which is the common plinking type ammo, even common hunting ammo, really. It doesn't handle it well. Not in this rifle, not in this barrel. Does about 4 inches at 100 yards. I don't consider that stellar. I don't think anybody would under modern standards. Now, when you do get up to about 168, 175, things tighten up, they get pretty good. I have a couple old targets here. They're older. I have shot the rifle more recently, but I just haven't grouped it to see what it would do recently. So this one is back 2017. This is federal 175 grain. 102 yards, that was the exact length at the range, but that's about a 1 inch group. Just three shots. Now, I have had some good groups with this though, I will tell you. This is January of 2018. Again, about a 1 inch group. And here again is January of 2018. 5 shots, and this is what happens when you, for me anyway, when I would extend the group size to 5, it would open up to about a minute and a half, 1.5 MOA rifle, which is what I would put this at. I did have a few really good groups over the years. This is my best 3-shot. I was gonna do a 5-shot, but I thought that is such a nice group for 200 yards. I'm just gonna keep it. So now that is actually MOA or a little sub MOA, but it's not something that this gun can repeat very often. So I would put this gun with decent ammo that is appropriate for its twist rate. I would put it at right around a 1.5 to 2 MOA rifle. 1.5 being generous, leaning it more towards a 2.2 MOA rifle, which for its purposes, being a more of a brush gun type setup, it's perfect. And the main attraction to this rifle for me was the magazine feed system. Bolt guns have historically, bolt guns from when I got into shooting decades ago, terrible magazines, blind magazines. They had the Z type springs, leaf springs that would, and they just always, the rounds would hang up, the rear end of the round would tilt up, the front end would tilt forward and get jammed. Bolt guns, believe it or not, are not as reliable as people make them out to be as far as the feeding. Now, they might be reliable in terms of not breaking, being able to get them back into action or service rapidly when you're in the field, but they do jam. And with the Pmags, this takes Pmags, it takes M1A mags, and it also takes the Mossberg mags. With the Pmags, it cycles so smoothly. I have run through, this is a 10 rounder. I have run through 10 rounds quickly at the range, and it feeds perfectly. It's beautiful. So you can do 5, depending on your hunting jurisdiction laws, you can do 5 rounds, 10 rounds. And then if you're just at the range and you're having fun and your buddy's got his semi-auto there or whatever, you can throw in a 20 round PMag. Yes, you're gonna fire slowly, but you're not going to run out of rounds any faster than him, and probably a lot slower because he's going to be going, he's going to be shooting more. So this is a Burris MTAC. It's a little bit dated scope. It's about an 8-year-old scope, little dated technology. It's a 1.5 to 6, but it has their ballistic reticle in it, which I really like for this gun. I have had this at the maximum range I've had it at was 300 yards, and I have made hits on half silhouette size targets pretty easily at that range. That's a chip shot even for a 2 MOA rifle. But yeah, it's a great gun. I have no complaints about it as long as you manage expectations. The bolt throw is similar to a Remington 700. Quality materials, probably not as good. A little bit cheap. Mossberg was always known to use kind of cheaper stuff. The trigger is nice. You can see the gun is empty. Okay. The trigger breaks at about 4 pounds. It has this little Savage trigger leaf on it. I can take it or leave it. But once you get past that, it's got a nice little wall, and then nice break, crisp break. But all in all, it handles beautifully. It's got a good weight to it. It's a little chunky, but I like it. No recoil really at all. It's amazing with this break. And this break isn't that aggressive. It doesn't have the holes and a bunch of extra baffles. It's loud where you're hearing protection, but it's not crazy like breaks can get. It's a really cool rifle. I would recommend it 1000% if you've ever even been interested in it in the least bit. And I know the newer ones come with cooler looking bolts and they have better stock options. So yeah, if you get it, enjoy. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments section.